All right, hello and welcome back to another session of the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Hope you guys are doing well as always. And let's switch over. let's switch over. All right, so last session, do we click in? Last session we just completed episode 2, right? And we're on our way to episode 3, right? So spoilers, I guess, since just check the other episodes. If you're here, check the other episodes, because spoilers. So here's the spoiler. The spoiler is that in episode 2, we figured out the murder of Kazuma Asogi. And it was, in the end, I didn't remember. I couldn't remember. I thought it was an accident, but actually, he got killed. He got murdered by Nikolina Pavlova. Because of a bit of a misunderstanding, right? But anyways, we completed that. She turned herself in, as well as one of the crewmates, Stroganoff, and the British, is it Scotland Yard? Is it Scotland Yard? Oh, whoever it is, something Yard. They're taking care of it. But the predicament was that since Asogi's dead, we couldn't have the study trip to go forward. But now Hodo has taken the reins. He's taken his katana, Kuruma, I believe that's what's the katana called, and he has taken upon himself to become the lawyer in substitution. I don't know what I'm trying to say. To replace Asogi, and we'll see how that progress has let's see how the progress is. Has he learned Britain's legal system with the assistance of Susato? Let's find out in episode 3. All right, what's it called? Let's find out. The Runaway Room, the adventure of the Runaway Room. Oh yeah, this carriage.
Glancing over my records of the late last century, I am faced by the events of a certain bitter winter. A murder in a carriage as it sped through dense London fog in the dead of night. Though the victim and the perpetrator were the only ones inside, there were multiple witnesses to the crime itself. However, none could have imagined at the time that such a seemingly obvious case as this would end in such a horrendous manner. My friend, Mr. Herlock Sholmes, once said of the incident,
I believe that perhaps that case was indeed the prelude.
the beginning of a long concerto that impressive Japanese student and I were to play together.
Amazing. Is this really just a railway station?
Railway station or not, I've never seen such an enormous building before.
And look at all the steam locomotives. This country is incredible.
I feel like I'm dreaming.
So this is the capital of Great Britain.
So, where to?
Oh, hello.
Climb aboard. I'll take you wherever you want to go.
In that case, the Supreme Court in Whitehall, if you wouldn't mind.
My pleasure. I suppose you're visiting students from abroad, eh?
Yes.
Thought so. Well then, I hope you enjoy your stay. And welcome to the centre of the world, Great Britain's mighty capital, London.
Alright, 18th of February. British Supreme Court Lord Chief Justice Office. Alright. Damn. Okay. What an incredible place. Here we go. Here we go. It's so imposing. It's almost suffocating. This place is breathtaking. It looks like a fortress. There are some stone buildings like this in Japan now, of course. But they've only been built in a few short decades since we opened our borders to the outside world. An authentic example like this has quite a different impact, wouldn't you agree? A far cry from the wood and paper most of our buildings are constructed from. It's certainly unfamiliar. Yeah, I've never seen a place that has cogs like this anywhere in Britain. But I think there's more to the differences than just construction materials. Are we in Big Ben? It looks like we're in Big Ben. There's a clock behind us. Where's this place again? This is the Lord Chief Justice Office, now Hado-san, in the Supreme Court of Great Britain. It looks like we're in a damn clock tower. The Lord Chief Justice. We had instructions to report here at this time if circumstances were different. We were supposed to let the Lord Chief Justice know that we had arrived from Japan. But Kazuma can't. Yep. Oh, yeah, Paul Kazuma, no. So instead, we are here in a different capacity. As envoys to report the news of Kazuma-sama's death. Yes. And having delivered his or her message, an envoy's duty is done. So, we have to return to Japan. Wait, what? If we want to remain here in Great Britain, have to take Kazuma's place. Yeah, alright. Okay, just going through. Just going through our options. Yes, which means you need the requisite qualification as a lawyer. Which is what I've been studying for. Here in Great Britain, it is the Lord Chief Justice who appoints lawyers. So that's the second reason why we're here, to have you officially recognized as a lawyer. It's the only way that we'll be able to remain here in London. I hope I'm up to scratch. Ah, good morning. Sorry to keep you. Keep you? Keeping you. Oh. I trust you aren't too exhausted after your long voyage from Japan. Oh, damn, the clock. The pocket watch. It seems I'm 1 hour, 12 minutes, and 40 seconds late. My apologies. Damn. Oh, no, don't mention it. We're never happier than when we're standing around with nothing much to do. How fortunate. Stronghart. So, introductions. I am Mael, Stronghart. Mael, right? Lord Chief, Justice of the British Empire. Ugh. And I feel like a little mouse under an elephant's foot. Come on, Mr. Naohado. Don't be a mouse. Oh, It's an honor to meet you, Lord Chief Justice Stronghart. I'm Ryunosuke Naohado from the Empire of Japan. Well, Mr. Naohado. Welcome to London, the capital of our glorious British Empire. Ah, yes, thank you. Oh, we're here, let's converse. Or can we examine? Let's just do some conversing first. So, what are your impressions of our capital so far? How do you like London? I'm surprised nobody has complimented our English. Oh, well... Alright, help. I've been so nervous ever since I got here, I can't remember a single thing about the city. It's simply splendid, isn't it, Mr. Naohado? Oh, here we go, Oh. We had a wonderful view of some of London's streets from the carriage on the way here to the station, or from the station. Everything is so impressive and grand. I must say I'm almost lost for words. Yeah, most literally for Naohado. I'm glad to hear you liked it. The city boasts tramways, piped water and gas, even cables supplying electricity. We spearhead every revolutionary new technology in the world. Every visitor to London is astounded. What's the term? The something revolution? Industrial revolution? Isn't that what it's called? Ah, yes, astounding. That takes me back. Industrial revolution when factories and stuff, like, I think that's what it's called in Britain. That was like a period of time. All right, thanks for saving me there, Cesar-san. And everything seems so jolly and full of vigor. Alright. Yes. There's much excitement about the upcoming great exhibition we'll be hosting here in London. Alright, great exhibition. Oh, damn, he has a cane. Cultural and technological achievements from around the globe are to be exhibited here in our great city. It will be the greatest spectacle of its kind in history, and will make Paris's World's Fair look like a toy shop. Damn. A bit of competing here. Gosh. I can hardly imagine how magnificent it's going to be. Alright, Great Britain's capital city is nothing but magnificent. London is the center of the modern world. If you do say so yourself. Alright, the sun will never set on our great empire. Right, perhaps it is fate that in these progressive times we will welcome visitors from the land of the rising sun. Alright, here we go. We're gonna break the news to him. Alright, Lord Chief Justice. I think you were expecting a student of law for this study tour, weren't you? Absolutely. A Mr. Kazuma Asugi, if my memory serves. That's right. The British government has already been telegraphed a full report on the situation. I understand a young man lost his life abroad. The steamship bound from our shores. For our shores. That's amazing. The news reached him before we even arrived. The telegram. My country naturally extends its deepest condolences to yours. Oh, thank you. And you honored this appointment specifically to inform me of the news. Yes. We are here in the capacity of envoys from Japan to report the sad news in person. You tell me you Japanese are a people of protocol and courtesy, and I see that is true. And it is with some regret that I must inform you that the death of the young lawyer means this study tour arrangement can no longer proceed. If you will just hear us out, Lord Stronghart. What do you have to say, madame? It's about the study tour. Mr. Naruhodo here would like to make a proposal. Would he now? Well, Mr. Naruhodo? This is it then. The moment of truth. Alright, the new... Continuing the study tour. Thing is, Lord Justice, Lord Stronghart, I was wondering if perhaps you would consider allowing the study tour to go ahead. Don't misunderstand me. Britain would ideally like to see the tour go ahead. But without a lawyer from your country, there's nothing to be done. Well, in that case, what if there was someone else? Another lawyer from Japan, I mean. Is there something I don't know? Only a single lawyer was invited to Great Britain from your country. And that was Mr. Asogi. At least that is what I've been led to understand. Well, the thing is, this really isn't going well at all. I just can't seem to find the right words to say to this man. Mr. Naruhodo, I could ruin things here if I'm not careful. What am I going to say? There is something else here from Japan who could be described as a lawyer. It's me. It's me. I can do it. Is that so? I mean, I don't actually have any qualifications as such, but... No qualifications, you say? And yet you still claim to be a lawyer? I have acted as a lawyer in court before. Only once, as it happens. And I had Kazuma to help me. And I was the accused, but glossing over the details. I've been spending every spare moment on the journey here to Great Britain studying. I've learned all about British law and court proceedings while I was on board the SS Bureau. Oh, wait till we get into the card then. The voyage from Japan is some 50 days, I believe. Not what you might call a full education. To be a qualified lawyer here in Britain, not only do you need a university degree in law, you must also complete several years of training. I realize it's far too short a period of time, but I can't just go back to Japan. Kazuma, Mr. Asogi's journey had only just begun. Coming here on this study tour was all he thought about. I have to carry on and do everything he's planned to do. I know it must sound like I have an overly inflated opinion of myself. I would do anything to prove that I have what it takes. Any test you care to set me. And here it is. Just one chance. That's all I'm asking for. Please. 31 seconds. Sorry? Your opening statement there, Mr. Naruhodo. It was 31 seconds long. Not too brief, not too protracted. A perfectly judged appeal, I would say. Which is a skill that would stand you in good stead as a lawyer. Oh, thanks. So, you willing to put those words to trial, are you? Well, I'm all for entertainment. Huh? Let me ask you one thing first, sir. Yes. You say you intend to do everything Mr. Asogi planned to do. Are you firmly set on that path? Well, yes, that's my intention, and we have a second game to play. I see. Am I imagining things? Did his expression just alter a fraction there, all of a sudden? He said altered? Very well. You have your wish. I'll give you a chance. Alright, a test to become a specially certified lawyer, whether you pass or fail is entirely down to you. Really? Alright, the test. So, what form will the task take exactly? Tell me, Mr. Naruhodo, what do you consider the role of a lawyer to be? Well, defending people, of course. Well said. So, let's have you defend someone. Huh? Huh? Your timing is perfect, in fact. There's an apt trial about to begin later today. No advocate has been appointed to the defense yet. So this will be a welcome news. Today? Straight away? If you manage to secure a verdict of not guilty, you'll have passed my test. What could be simpler? Ugh. How do I get myself into these situations? Yeah. This has been like the second time? Third time? It's like something so abrupt, right? It's always a bit different, right, with these episodes. Well, could I ask, what sort of trial is it, Lord Stronghart? Yes, good question. Ah, I remember. It's a murder trial. A murder? An extremely simple case, I understand. You really can't lose. That's easy to say. I should mention, just in case, if the defendant is found guilty, he will, of course, be sentenced to capital punishment. Capital punishment? He'll be put to death? Here in Great Britain, murderers are sent to the gallows, without exception. The gallows? What's the gallows? The hanging, no? Is that it? Presumably you read that much in your short C-based introduction to British. Well, I think that's right? The gallows. It's been a bit long, isn't it, since I heard the word gallows. We can't possibly agree to such a task. We will be toying with a man's life. I am the Lord Chief Justice, and I've decided it's acceptable, but can't do that, can you? There's no need to overcomplicate this. All you have to do is ensure that you don't lose. The defendant may live or die, depending on how well I perform in court. If I lose, he'll be hanged. Alright, there we go. Yeah, it is that. He is hanging. Mr. Naruhodo, you've come to me claiming to be a lawyer. If you want me to take you seriously, you need to prove you're willing to do a lawyer's job. And you say you intend to see through the will of your compatriot, Mr. Asogi. I would like to understand just how far you're willing to go in order to make that happen. He's testing my resolve. What's the matter? You've fallen silent. I'm sorry, but time is pressing. The trial begins shortly. I need an answer from you now. What is it to be? Or what it to be? What is it to be? And what do I say? Do I agree to this absurd test? Yeah, I'll do it. Alright then. If I have to give you my decision now, my answer is... I can't do it. I can't get the words out. 15 seconds. Huh? Your decision making needs work if you want to be a lawyer. That was too slow. So, it's as I suspected, is it? Sorry? You have noble intentions, but lack the resolve to see them through. The test is cancelled. Thank you for stopping by. Go and acquire your ticket from passage back to the east tomorrow. This conversation is over. Yes, Lord Stronghart. Thank you for offering me a chance. Ryunosuke. Mr. Naruhodo. I'm sorry, Mr. Sato, but what could I do? It's alright, I understand. You do? It's not an easy decision to choose whether to defend a man in these circumstances. But resolve has absolutely nothing to do with it. What are you trying to say, madame? I think what Mr. Sado means is that no matter how badly I like to be recognized as a lawyer and stay here in Great Britain, to risk another man's life by treating his one and only chance at a trial so trivially would be utterly unforgivable. And I feel exactly the same way. I'm sure the defendant won't see this trial as a test, as some kind of experiment. A lawyer may fight for his clients in court day after day, but for each one of those clients, a particular day they stand in the dock may be the only chance they have to fight to prove their innocence. No, I was wrong. I'm not qualified to do that job yet. I'm sorry for wasting your precious time, Lord Chief Justice. Wait, Mr. Naruhodo. Oh, was there something else? It's approximately 20 minutes by carriage to the Old Bailey from there. Or from here. If you leave immediately, you should still be there in time. But I just said that. I was quite serious in what I told you. The defendant in this case has literally no one to advocate for him. What? At this point, he can't hope to find someone to represent him. The trial will begin without a defense. If that happens, there's only one possible outcome. He's finna gang to the gallows. Yeah, he will receive the most severe sentence the judge can pass down. But that's awful. That is the truth. Why does it have to be like this? Yeah, why is nobody accepting? Please don't expect an answer to every question. Cold hard truth of the matter is that there's only one person now with a chance to save this man from a very miserable end. And that is you. I'm really his only hope? So, what do you say now, madame? Me? What do you mean, Lord Stronghart? You said it wasn't an easy decision to choose whether to defend a man in these circumstances. And I agree. In my estimation, it is purely and simply a matter of resolve. Oh. Our time is up here. I have a meeting to attend. I must leave in 2 minutes and 16 seconds. So, venture into our great city and enjoy yourselves. He's out. Alright, gone. The Old Bailey, huh? Yeah, this case is a crazy one as well. If we're going to do this, Mr. Naruhodo, we must leave at once. Guess we're moving. Can we talk? What to do? Can we examine? Mrs. Zado, can I just ask you something? Careful! From this position, I can perform a Susanna takedown in an instant. I know. Mr. Naruhodo, you heard Lord Stronghart. The trial starts imminently. If I need to throw you, I will. You know, you could just say, I think we should hurry to the car room. If you need to ask me anything, it had better wait until we're at the Old Bailey. Alright, we're getting there. She was ready. Yeah, she was ready to kick my ass. Throw me downtown. Yeah, I feel like this one's gonna be a long trial as well. Alright, let's not forget, I've got something charging. I'll check 5 o'clock. So an hour in. Got my phone charging. Alright, so we're in the Old Bailey here. Well, thank goodness, we're in time. There's still 50 minutes until the trial begins. I never knew a horse-drawn carriage could go so fast. I thought my teeth were going to rattle loose. We're going to rattle loose. Did you hear what I said to the driver when we climbed in? Or climbed on? Get us to our destination in 5 minutes, driver. And there's a guinea for it. It's one of my favorite lines from the Sherlock Holmes story, and it worked perfectly. I'm not sure why you're so pleased. I thought we were going to die. And we had to play golf for the privilege. Well, at least we arrived here before the trial started. Yes, I suppose there's that. Anyway, I don't understand it. Carl Collett said the defendant should be here, but there's no sign of him at all. So this is the Old Bailey. Even this room for defendants to wait is, yes, is grand. Are you alright, Mr. Naruhodo? I'm feeling tense, that's all. This place gives me the same sense of foreboding that I remember from the Supreme Court in Japan. An oppressive air. Almost as if the building itself is going to crush whoever it is about to be sentenced. It feels like only yesterday that I was the one about to be crushed. Yes, whoever the man you're supposed to defend is, I imagine he's feeling very alone at this moment. I'm pretty sure he's like, don't worry, top of the morning to you, madame. Sir. I'm pretty sure, is he Irish? What are you doing following me out here? Things are fair desperate, aren't they? Sorry? Would you look at those specialist faces? From the east, are yous? We're from Japan, yes. Ah, Japan is it? Right, say no more. So, how much do yous need? No, we're just here because... No need to explain, fella. I've been there myself, so I have. No place to go, nothing to eat, barely a penny to your name, and all the while in a strange, faraway land. Well, we haven't found a place to stay yet, no. This grand. Let me start by giving you 1,000 guineas. Say nothing now. 1,000 guineas? Please, Mrs. Hassan, you don't have to shout. 1,000 guineas is enough to build an entire mansion in the most prestigious area of Tokyo. What? It's nothing to me at all. I like to ensure I have sufficient funds to weather a rainy day, you see. I've enough wealth to buy the city of London 2 or 3 times over. Did that much rain even fall in one day? Well, even so, we couldn't possibly accept such a large sum of money. Ah! That hit me in the eye. Ah! Don't get me wrong, fella. I'm not giving it to you, no strings attached. I will wanting you to do something for me. Oh? To be honest, this is a little embarrassing. The trial that I'm about to begin, you see, is for me, good self here. I'll be in the dock. So now, what I want you to do is come along with me and stand there beside me. Officially, you'll be my lawyer, but that's just a little detail now. Oh, well, the thing is, don't worry about a thing. All you have to do is stand up there next to me, nothing more. Otherwise, you see, the trial's going to be standing without me having any kind of representation at all. So it was true. The Lord Chief Justice wasn't just making it all up. I'm terribly sorry to have to ask, but does that mean you're the defendant in this trial? Blustering blazes, do yous not know who I am? Me, one of London's biggest name. No, sorry, we only just arrived in the city, you see. Well, it makes sense, yeah. I see. I suppose it isn't altogether impossible. Well, just next to Hyde Park, there in the center of London, is another beautiful park. Sorry? A park? What? It's called McGild Park, full of blossoming flowers in the spring and singing birds and whatnot. I donated it to the city, so I did. Ah, an entire park? In central London. City of Smiles, that's my vision for London. There's nothing Magnus McGild wouldn't do for the city and its old people. Quad? That's amazing. I mean, really extraordinary. Ah, but now they have the gall to say I'm a good-for-nothing criminal. Me, Magnus McGilded. McGilded? What's the matter with the police? I ask him. Alright, don't pass out. Mr. Naruhodo. Mister? Perhaps now would be a good time to introduce ourselves while the gentleman catches his breath. Good idea. Hello, sir. Mr. McGilded. The thing is, we're actually here in London to study British law. We're law students on a study tour from Japan, you see. So, if you don't have a lawyer for the trial yet, and you'll be happy to put yourself in our hands, we'll do our best. What was I after saying, you daft git? Wait. I've given you 1,000 guineas to stand up there next to me, haven't I? Well, yes, but I wasn't really offering to just stand up there next to you. Did you say idiot? What is that? You daft idiot? Idiot? It's not even idiot. Oh, I think, I see what's going on here. Sorry. I know what you're thinking, or thinking. The Chancellor Fowler claims to have more money than the Queen. But if that's true, why the Blazers can't he hire the finest lawyer in all of England? Because he did it. That's the only explanation. Well, not all. Although, it is a little strange to be honest. Why you don't have a lawyer, I mean? That would be the fault of the Reaper. Sorry, did he just say Reaper? Aye, the Grim Reaper of the Bailey, Lord Baroque van Zeeks. He's the... I think it's Zeeks. He's the prosecutor. Or Zykes. The prosecutor is the Grim Reaper. Should I find out? Let me find out. I'll put it on auto. His sacrificial lambs. To this day, in every single trial, what's his name? Baroque van Zeeks. The Zeeks? Zykes? Any pronunciations? When there's no one willing to stand in defense against that fella, you could say he's a living legend of the Old Bailey. He's a talented prosecutor then. Are they gonna go through the Alright, let's see. Yeah, it's cursed. Alright, they're going through it right now. I'll call him Zeeks. Defendant summoned and his counsel. Please make your way into the courtroom. The trial's about to begin. His counsel? That would be me. Oh, this time. Well then, fella, don't let me down. But I don't know anything about the case. You haven't told me what happened. Until you show your face here. I made up my mind, so I had. Sorry. I've decided I have to defend myself in there. How would that have to work? Yeah, well, how would that have worked? But then you made an appearance. It's student law, wouldn't you know? It's no accident, I can assure you of that. This fate. So don't get cold feet now, please. Yeah, but this guy's a bit suspicious as well. I literally know nothing about the case or about this man who stands accused. In fact, the only thing I do know is that I can't just turn my back on him. Yeah, I've got, yeah, this is, I got my study trip on the line here as well, Mr. Nahodo. The man has no one. He'll have to stand alone in the courtroom, armed with nothing to defend himself. Yes, something that Casimir would have never allowed to happen. Counsel for the defense, what are you doing? If you're late for the start of the trial, you will lose your right to stand. Let's go. I'll be right there. Alright, here we go. Law system, the court rulings in here. Yeah, in British court. They're looking wild. I hope you're watching over me, Casimir. Because I have no idea how I'm going to manage this. Yeah, here I am wielding the town as well. So this is the highest court in Great Britain. Oh yeah, when I played this on the 3DS, it was lagging. So thankfully, I could play this at some nice good, I don't know what FPS, 60? I hope this is 60 FPS or 30. Feels imposing and serene at the same time. The atmosphere almost makes words redundant. Wherever the country, determining a person's guilt or innocence is always a solemn affair. May I say something, Mr. Naruhodo? Oh, yes. One. The eyes looking everywhere. The eyes look ready to pop out of your head again. I know, but I just can't help it. Yeah, this is his first... Oh, who's that guy? Yeah, this is my first trial in British soil, on British soil, in British court. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. We are here today to determine the guilt or innocence of Magnus McGilded. McGilded? I don't know if that's his name. I'm saying it wrong, I feel like. Now I come upon the counsels for the prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed. There's Van Ziegs. The prosecution is fully prepared. I must be the Reaper of the Bailey. He really does look fully prepared to dispatch his next poor victim to the underworld. Counsel for the defense? You appear to be Eastern. Do you speak English? Huh? Oh, yes, of course. Sorry. He asked if the defense was ready. I couldn't be further from ready if I'm tried. Those eyes please me. Nipponese? They shroud your fear. You're down. Your trepidation and trepidation. They run wild, clinging to some phantom notion of courage. The quintessential look of sacrificial lamb. Ugh. Cold shiver just down my spine and to the tip of my toes. Now, Mr. McGilded. Yes, my lord? You stand accused of the murder, a capital offense. You can't be sent to the gallows if found guilty. Should I give him like a yes for? Are you sure you wish to entrust your defense to this foreigner? As I've always said, my lord, this is a grand thing to what I'm doing to give opportunities to the young. What kind of accent is that? Even if the fellow is a student from some little island off the far east, it's not the British way to ignore the dangers to yourself and give those less fortunate a fair chance. I don't think he trusts us. I like to think that an act to chivalry do the great British Empire proud. Listen to Mr. McGilded. What a fine gentleman London has in him. Did you hear that he donated £5,000 to the government the other day? Mother, please, can we go play in McGilded Park? It seems as though everyone in the public gallery is firmly behind Mr. McGilded. That's definitely welcoming news, and he certainly has a way with words. I'm surprised he couldn't convince anyone to defend him. Alright, we've got an hour 30 for this. Eloquently put, Mr. McGilded. And most laudable sentiments. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I'm sure I need hardly remind you that you 6 members of the public have been selected for your impartially is that how I say it? I don't know. Are you ready to proceed? Yes, my lord. If the task is to send rotters to the gallows where they belong, I'm more than ready. At the manor, his lordship always say we should dispose of rubbish promptly. Naturally, I agree. Any criminals here will soon be wishing they never set eyes on me. Oh damn, he's got the flask. Drinking some alcohol, huh? I feel a chill. Oh, don't mind me, my dears. I'll just be getting on with my knitting. Must finish these mitts for my grandson. Ah, Mr. Maruhodo, those people are the jury, yes. That's something we don't have in Japan yet. That's right. I've always ever read about it. About what? But here in Great Britain, yeah, here's the difference between the Ace Attorneys. The court's final verdict depends on the opinions of these 6 jurors. The jurors pass the sentence according to the law. The jurors determine guilt based on common sense. The defendant is ultimately judged from 2 different points of view. Completely 2 points. Yes. Yeah, but how do the jurors give their verdict? Oh yeah, they shoot like fire out. Yeah, you'll see it. It's pretty funny. I'm sure it'll become clear as the trial progresses. Yes. I hope we don't have a very slow start, but I think we will, you know, just to get an understanding of the British courtroom. It's been a number of years since we've seen you here in the courtroom. I thought you renounced your fame. I'm known as the Reaper of the Bailey, my lord. Infamy rather than fame, I would say. But yes, 5 years has passed since I last spread my wings in this capacity. So, what brings you back? Is there some change of circumstances of which the court should be aware? Or aware? I leave I leave that to your imagination, my lord. That the Reaper has been out of action for 5 years. Why did he have to choose today of all days to make a comeback? Don't lose heart, Mr. Naruhodo. As you wish, sir. The court nevertheless welcomes your return. Now then, opening statements, I think. A summary of the case, if you please. Certainly, my lord. As your lordship is aware, this is a case of overwhelming simplicity. We must be the only ones in here who aren't aware. The incident took place in the late evening, 3 days past. The hour was some minutes after 10. The victim was a maker of building bricks known in the community as thrice fired mason. I'm sorry? Thrice. He was a very accomplished craftsman. Bricks he fired were said to be almost indestructible. Fired? Oh, there he is. The victim's corpse was discovered in an omnibus in service on the streets of London at the time. A dagger had been thrusted into the victim's abdomen. It's believed to be the ultimate cause of death. Alright, we're probably going to get a autopsy report. Yeah, here's the autopsy report from the investigating medical officer of Scotland Yard. Thank you, counsel. I shall accept that and the photograph as evidence. Alright. And the photo. Alright, we're getting two things in here. And one further item of evidence. The prosecution wished to submit these as well. And these are... Good lord. Is that blood, counsel? Yes, my lord. Seized by a policeman who arrived at the scene. These gore-soaked gloves were taken from the hands of the accused when he was arrested. What? Mr. McGilda's gloves has blood on them. Or had blood on them. Why so? Yes, I will accept these as evidence as well. I believe he was inside the carriage as well, but we'll get to that soon. We'll find out. How did I get into this? I'm backed into the corner before I even started. Continuing. According to the driver of the omnibus, there were only 2 passengers traveling inside his vehicle at the time. Only 2? Obviously. One of the passengers was the deceased brickmaker, Mr. Mason. The other was the accused, Magnus McGilded. Well, rather damning circumstances to say the least. Defendant, what say you? Well, of course, I have no recollection of such a thing. Mr. McGilded. To be sure, I rode the omnibus that evening. Wherever I'm in the carriage, I'm taken with a fierce tiredness, and I'm always succumb to it. You claim to have been asleep. This the motion of the carriage, my lord. Litting? So it is. And when I opened my eyes again, what's the desperate sight from before me? The body of a man I never laid eyes on before in me life. Now I ask you, what good-hearted soul wouldn't rush to help a fellow bleeding from his stomach? I wasn't about to start worrying about my gloves now, was I? I reached out to give a man the hand. Makes sense, right? So the blood got onto his gloves then after the man had been killed. Unfortunately, that statement of the driver is only the beginning. What? That's not all of it. There were multiple witnesses. To be precise, moment at which the brickmaker was fatally stabbed. Right, that's getting everyone's attention in the jury. Order! Order! When the killing took place, only the victim and the accused were inside the carriage. They were witnesses to the crime. This is not just a case of compelling evidence. It's the nail in the coffin for the accused. Thank you, counsel. The circumstances of the crime have been made quite clear. I think we will hear the testimony from these witnesses first of all. Who are the witnesses? Oh, I believe it's a double-decker carriage here. All right, Balef, bring the witnesses in at once. Is that how you call them? Balefs, right? Yeah, here he comes. Oh, there's 3 of them. I think I know who they are. Yeah, witnesses, your names and occupations. My name is, well, everyone calls me Beepo. I drive an omnibus in the East End. Bruce Fairplay. I'm a banker in the city. My name's First. Lady First. I make hats for gents. Lady First. Ladies first, yeah? Let's begin by confirming the facts. 3 days ago, at the short time after 10 o'clock in the evening, all of you present in the stand were in an omnibus and witness to the aforementioned incident. Is that correct? Yes, sir. Quite right. Yes, sir. That's right, sir. Very well, then. Let's proceed to your formal testimony, please. Oh, precisely what you saw. I was standing in, called... Right, witness testimony. We're starting in hot. It was the last bus of the evening, so I had a few customers I remember well. The victim and the man accused of killing him were sat next to each other inside the bus. Then out of the blue, yeah, stabbed plunge right in his guts. That's right, he stabbed him. I screamed, I did. Couldn't help then. As soon as I heard the scream, I stopped my bus. And then I saw it too. Nothing great about that, hey? Ambiguous in testimony, I must say. I'm burping, bro, sorry. Sorry if it actually catches the mic. Yeah, that. These men witnesses the incident in the omnibus with their own eyes. I'd like to ask a question if I may. Oops, sorry. Yes, counsel? Well, this testimony makes absolutely no sense to me whatsoever. Why not? Well, the incident took place inside a moving carriage, didn't it? Alright, here it is. As has been clearly stated from the outset, yes. Well, in that case, how could those two witnesses possibly have seen what happened? There's no way they could have seen the inside of the moving carriage. How quaint. I read that civilization in the Eastern nations was a good century behind ours. But you're here in London yourself. Are you so ignorant about our omnibuses? Huh? Tell me, my Nipponese friend, have you even traveled in an omnibus? Well, no. We only arrived in London this morning. No matter. I've arranged for us to see for ourselves the actual scene of the crime, that is. What? Do you mean the actual scene? How? A carriage is designed to be moved after all. Presumably you understand that much. Yes. The omnibus in which this bloody crime took place is here today, in this very building. Here? What? The entire carriage? I'm surprised they could fit it in. Balif! Bring forth the stricken omnibus. Yeah, here it is. Damn, it's right in there. So that's an omnibus. The omnibus? I can't believe they could bring something so enormous in here. I'm surprised it could fit in. Great Britain's car rooms are amazing. As you can see, the omnibus is pulled by 2 horses and can carry up to 8 passengers. Yeah, I didn't even know like an omnibus for this. Like, oh, I was very, you know, well informed in this episode. All passengers seated inside the enclosed cabin and another 4 on the rooftop deck above. Every Londoner knows that the best views of the city architecture and sights are to be had from the top of the omnibus. Must be cold though. And I should point out that, to our foreign guests that there is a skylight in the roof allowing a view of the interior from the seats above. Ah, a skylight. Oh. Penny drops at last, I see. These 2 gentlemen were occupying the rooftop seats of this omnibus when the murder took place. That's how they came to witness the grim incident. Through the skylight. Ah, that makes perfect sense. Well, counsel, this is a first. In all my years behind the bench, I never experienced the crime scene itself being brought into the courtroom. A number upon the clues remaining inside the carriage, my lord. I would like to submit the omnibus itself as evidence. That is the prosecution's wish. Oh damn, he's wearing a toupee? Well, it's not really a toupee. They always wear that, right? Like a little thing. I don't know. What is it called? This omnibus is hereby formally accepted as evidence. What did the judges wear on their hat? It's not even a toupee. Yeah, so the omnibus is submitted. I can't believe it. The entire crime scene enters as evidence. Yeah, alright, hold on. I'm going to take a drink first. Press the wrong button, though. Right. Pray don't expect this Nipponese stray to understand the intricacies of the British weather. Gonna breathe in. Deep breath in. And around. Okay, I couldn't breathe. And then out. Alright, a slap on the cheeks. No escape focus. Deep breath in. Oh damn, they've got a change in the cross-examination. Alright, what the witness saw. Alright, wait, hold on. It's on auto still. Just reach over and plunge the knife right now. Alright, let's see. Alright, take the autoplay off. You saw exactly the moment. Did I already testify then? Are you fair dinkum hard-working city bankers not considered trustworthy these days? Oh, no. I didn't mean that. It seems like we've got to be pressing. This is no good. I've really got his back up. Perhaps you could just tell us what you saw in a little more detail if that's... My lord? Huh? Juror number 3? What's the meaning of this? My mind is made up, my lord. Completely and utterly made up. Made up about what? I don't think the stinking rich never have. What the hell? I don't like the stinking rich. I don't know how I gotta think. They're always up to something. Or other than that, they shouldn't, that they shouldn't be, every one of them. Never mind. Alright, here it is. That little leprechaun of a man is no acceptation. Well, he can't fool me. Is he Irish? I think he's Irish. He is called McGillen. That makes sense. Should have gave him an Irish accent. But I don't think my Irish is up to snuff. That's my opinion. I got the leprechaun voice. Hold it. That is precisely what I was about to say. The foreman of the jury, it's my duty to set a good example to my fellow jurors. What the? Yeah, now it's what is happening here? Let me see. Ah, yes. It seems that how the members of the jury give their verdict. With fire? Apparently, yes. White for innocent and black for guilty. And the 6 members of the jury make up their minds about the case. One by one, they each cast a ball of fire into the great scales to dust this. So if these enormous scales fall completely to the black side, does that mean we lose? Yeah. Let's do our very best to make sure that doesn't happen. Yeah, now I'm even more worried than I was before. Very well. The court acknowledges the change in the jury stance. Counsel for the defense, please continue with your cross-examination. This is a nightmare. He stabbed him. I screamed. I couldn't help it. Alright, let's see. We just got press here. He stabbed him, you say? And you were sitting up on the roof deck, were you? That's right, sir. It was up on the roof seats. I remember seeing the little Jen sitting next to the fellow that was stabbed. I've been thinking about a new hat design, you see, so I was just gazing absentmindedly around. Then I happened to look down through the skylight. It was sticking right out of his belly, that huge grey knife. Ah, a grim sight indeed. Ah, that didn't help me at all. Jury looked like they've even more convinced by my client. Yeah. That appears to be made everyone more dubious that Mr. Gillis is telling the truth. Only we had some evidence to counter their suspicions. Mr. First? Ah, yes, sir. Is this the knife you saw? Oh, good grief. Yes, that's it. That's the very one, sir. Is that? Yes, counsel. This is the blade that was driven into the victim's belly like a stake through the heart. That's a blade of considerable size, counsel. It is. And furthermore, the scabbard is in prominently with a certain initial. The letter M. Which seemingly oddly familiar. Ugh, please, no. M for Magnus, perhaps? Or McGilded, possibly? Take your pick. Not good when both his initials are M's. Seems more this particular name in London made a magnificent mistake. The double M's. Oh, objection. Hey, that's my objection. But there are M's everywhere. Like, yes. Like in Mason. This blade is far too extravagant for a poor brickmaker to have owned. No. This weapon of murder almost certainly belongs to the accused. That doesn't sound right when I first said it. Alright. Not conclusive, but certainly compelling, counsel. Alright, we added it. My lord, if you'll forgive the interruption. Ah, juror number 2. Go on. Mr. McGilded is a pillar of society and a gentleman's word should be sacrosanct. Sacrosanct? Those of us in service know we must accept hard truths. Wait, what are you about to do? Dispose of the rubbish? That's 3. That's 3. No. I don't wish to cause offense, but I do like to eradicate all traces of filth and grime. All dead. Oh, juror number 4. I have painstakingly typed every word uttered here today and cross-referenced all the facts. As such, I am now in a position to draw the only logical conclusion. That's 4. Not again. That's 4 out of 6 jury members who proposed the guilty verdict. Only 2 left. We've had it. Every time I press these witnesses for more information, I just make the situation worse. Nevertheless, what we need more than anything at the moment is more information. We're still very much in the dark. Yeah, I suppose I'll just have to keep pressing the witnesses, knowing that more sparks may well fly. We can give up hope. Uncover something that will give us a way fire. Yeah, okay, but... Alright. I'll keep trying. Can't give up. Just need to keep calm and listen to the witnesses' statements again. Alright, I think we've done a full round. We'll do all 3. Oh no, as soon as the screen has stopped. Hold it. Hold it. What exactly do you see? Oh, well, sir, that would be the passenger. Yes. Collapsed on the floor he was. By passenger, obviously you are referring to the victim, Mr. Mason, the brickmaker. And the other passenger had the knife in his hand like this. By the other passenger, obviously you're referring to the accused, Mr. Magnus McGilded. Then he plunged down like this. Stabbing the other passenger in the belly. What? How did he see it? Order! Order! This had to believe that of ones of... yes. Philanthropist. Philanthropist? Yeah, the law knows no philanthropists, my lord. Only the innocent and the guilty. Good deeds mean nothing when overshadowed by evil. The truth is everything. Couldn't agree more, sir. The truth. Alright, so when it happened, the only 2 people in the enclosed cabin area were the victim and the defendant. And so help me. 3 whole people witnessed the man I'm trying to defend to do the deed. I don't like to be a pessimistic, but we do seem to be in a rather difficult situation here. Yeah, what am I supposed to think here? Is Mr. McGilded really innocent? Could it be... Before we jump to conclusions, our first task should be to gather information, yeah. Alright, let's listen in. Alright, let's do it. Last bus of the day. Yes, I think it was sometime after 10, wasn't it? Oh yes, sir. That's right, sir. Yes, ever so cold. It was just freezing, in fact. And you had 4 passengers on board at the time. Is that correct? I think he's like still freezing. Yeah. Yes, sir. Right. Yeah. No problem. Parts of the bus were called. No. There were no other passengers when the incident took place. No one alight, for example. Quite right with that, sir. No other passengers like that. No, none. Nobody fled the scene of the crime. Then. I have to say, the boss insists on it's running. He does every evening, the last bus of the day. But I do wonder sometimes if it's altogether worthwhile. Yes, so sorry to say. What do you mean by that? Well, what with it being so cold and everything and only making 20 pence on the run, you see. Yes, I spend that much at the pub on the way home just to try warm up again. I just can't believe it, sir. Can't believe it. A murderer on my own bus. It's too awful to think about. I haven't been able to shake this cold ever since that happened. Lord, I wish to speak. Yes, juror number 5. You take it. The master of the London's Guild of Coachmen. The idea of a murder being committed in one of the city carriages is utterly, yeah, abhorrent to me. He's going for guilty as well. But I've heard enough now. The horse has bolted, as they say. No, please, just keep an open mind at least long. Gear up now, you Silver Blaze. The finish is in sight. That's 5 out of 6. Not a good start. Beepo is a long-standing member of the guild, and I trust what the man says. Are you paying him 20 pence coin, man? Oh, thank you, sir. It's too kind, sir. Oh, this is too kind, sir. Unkind, sir. Which now means that 5 jurors agreed to condemn him. It's this little old granny. Madame Juror number 6? Yes, dear? Well, what can I do for you? You have heard the testimony of the witnesses in the stand? Oh yes, I certainly have. Still got my hearing, you know? Then pray tell, why you yet to pronounce your leaning? Well, dear, the thing is, I'm a creature of habit, me. I always go to the park at around this time of day and sit on the nice bench and get on with my knitting. It's a lovely little park just near where I live. The Gilded Park, it's called. The gentleman donated it to the city, you know, to put a smile on Londoner's face, he said. I can't imagine such a fine young gentleman would have it in him to take another man's life. He's always doing wonderful things for the city. Yeah, just you had it, you know, McGilded. Those donations really did save your life. Yeah, maybe go to the McGilded Public Library. He's got a public library. Or some books. How many Londoners live with their heads in the clouds? Do you people not know? What kind of man Magnus McGilded really is? What kind of man is he? The philanthropist Magnus McGilded has enough wealth to purchase the entire city he claims to value so high. Where did all the wealth come from? Kind is a Shylock, sir, and one with the very darkest of souls. What? Stone the Crows. The Gilded lends money at extortionate rates of interest, so his victims have no hope of repaying him. When they default, he takes possession of everything they own. He's a vulture that preys on the weak. I've never heard of any mention of that before. Alright, wait, hold on. Alright. Your faculties have deserted you, I'm sure, madame. Alright, I'm gonna autoplay here. You're not saying that. The victim, a poor brickmaker, had next to nothing to his name, save considerable financial liability. It was come to notify that his creditor was the accused, Magnus McGilded. But let it also be known that the very day Mr. Mason was killed was the final repayment date for his debt. Goodness gracious. The brickmaker was destitute. He had lost his house. He had not a shilling with which to repay his debt. And in the end, this pitiful soul had the very last thing he owned taken from him, his life. By the merciless philanthropist pretender Magnus McGilded. Don't believe it. If I might add something briefly, Mrs. Ado-san, or Mrs. Ado, you claimed that the victim had been lent money by Mr. McGilded, but where's the evidence to support your claim? Oh damn, he's got a wine glass here. Pray forgive the discourtesy of filling my hallowed chalice in a court of law. Ah, there it is. Lord Van Zyke's hallowed chalice. How can this be considered acceptable? I find myself in an unexpectedly good humor. I've heard ladies from the Far East could show great courage. I didn't expect to experience it myself. Ah, as As judicial assistant to the defense, I am simply doing my job. What a pity that your display of courage is in vain. This is the debtor's ledger, which details all monies loaned by the accused. You'll find the victim's name clearly recorded inside. Oh. Allow me to present this ledger as evidence. And pray forgive the discourtesy of raising my chalice in a toast to the dynamic East at the same time. Marvelous toast, Council. I will gladly accept this new evidence. Alright, we got his ledger. Oh yes, 20 guineas. The victim owned a considerable sum. And the accused made quite certain he had an ample what's it called? Recompense? Well, I would assume I've had the wool pull out of my eyes. Regrettably, man. There's the modus operandi of the accused. And it's such a pretty little park too. What a scoundrel. Scoundrel. Scoundrel? Still. Maybe it's all for the best. Ah, wait a minute. Let's think about this a little more before. I don't stand for nonsense. That's 6, bro. He's on the ground. That was it. The last juror's decision. According to this Encyclopedia of British Law, when all members of the jury have concluded that the defendant is guilty, court proceedings are suspended, and the presiding judge will deliver the final verdict and sentence. That's what it says here. The final verdict. It's over then. Oh. There's a footnote though. A footnote? However, the defense. All 6 members of the jury are now in agreement in this case. Hey, what's the footnote? What's the footnote? Allow me to convey my respect for your swift and righteous decision. According to the laws of this country, I will now conclude this trial by delivering my final verdict. I trust there are no objections. Mr. Zato, just tell me one thing. Oh, yes? You were in the middle of saying something before. The footnote in your encyclopedia. However, the defense. What did it say next? Oh, yes. Of course. One moment. When all members of the jury have concluded that the defendant is well, what the hell, man? Yeah. Then the footnote says, however, the defense has the right to demand a summation examination of the jurors at this point. Drags himself back up. A summation? Examination?
Objection!
Objection. A summation examination? From which century has that tome you have there been resurrected? Ah. Reading from the binding, I would say that book is at least 50 years old. Any modern text on British law wouldn't even give such an acquainted procedure mention. It's a relic, long forgotten and certainly no longer practiced. So you're out of luck. Oh. What even is it, Mr. Zato? This so-called summation examination. Oh, one moment and I'll read about it. You would demand the right to a procedure before you even understand what it entails? Huh. Typical Nipponese. Alright, Mr. Naohodo, I think I understand. It seems that under this procedure, we wouldn't be able to appeal to... we would be... What the hell? Why do you say wouldn't? We would appeal to them. Do what exactly? Appeal to them to change their leaning and reverse their decision. And it says here that... if successful, the proceedings of the trial must be resumed. Make them reverse their decisions? Yes, in times gone by, barristers would use a summation examination to attempt to influence the jury's decision. But that procedure became something of a formality with no practical benefit, really. So it rather fell out of use. I wonder why. Because it was devoid of purpose. Changing just one member of the jury's mind would be hard enough, let alone several. No self-respecting defense barrister would even assert his right to try in this day and age. still. I don't see any mention of the procedure actually being formally revoked. What are you suggesting? I'm suggesting that although it may be what how do you say that? And largely forgotten, it isn't yet extinct. Antiquated. And what the fuck? Antiquated. Yeah, antiquated. What do you think, Mr. Naruhodo? Antiquated. We get it. We got there. Summonation examination. The last possible option. Do we assert our right? Yeah, of course, bro. Assert the right. The defense wishes to assert its right to a summonation examination, my lord.
Objection!
London is the capital city of the most powerful nation on earth. We have a duty to the world to exemplify the very highest standards of judicial procedure. Summonation examinations are an embarrassment that should remain buried. Objection. If it's our right, it's our right. I believe it could prove vital in this trial. The defense petition is perfectly valid. The court will proceed with the summonation examination. This is madness. Foreman, are you and the remainder of the jury ready? Eh? Well, I'm not, there was no mention of this in the letter I received, you see, so... All members of the jury will be asked to explain on what grounds they have reached their decision. Alright, so after... On what grounds? You must all justify your decision and explain why you believe the defendant to be guilty. Oh, well, my lord, you're rather putting us on the spot. This is most irregular. No mention was made of this before. I don't really hold with all this justifying lark. That seems to have thrown the jurors off. Yeah, it seems like they don't do this, yeah. It seems none of them has experienced this before. Alright then, the summonation examination. The defense procedure no practicing lawyer has attempted for years, I said. Well, just maybe. It might be the opportunity we've been looking for. Might turn this case around. So be it then. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the court hereby calls upon you to state the grounds on which you find the defendant Magnus McGilded guilty of this most serious crime. Alright, here it is. Judicial findings. Jurors' contentions. There was no one else inside the carriage at the time, so it has to be him. I trust the driver. He has an excellent memory, it seems. 4 passengers with fares totaling 20 pence. He stuck the chap next to him just like this. Brazen, I must say. Absolutely brazen. I simply typed in, collated all the statements made thus far and drawn the logical conclusion. You can trust the guild. Fair fares is our motto. We haven't raised prices about 4 pence for years. The scoundrel stabbing that poor man on the floor. It beggars belief. On the floor? It was on the floor. I see a bit of contradictions here. I wish I hadn't pushed for this now. Some of the jurors don't seem to have wonderfully formed arguments though, do they? Well, let's see what we can do. We need to get these 6 people to change their minds. I have to throw everything I can at them. I'll use with some very persuasive language. Just a moment, Mr. Naruhodo. According to my book, that's not quite how it works. Oh? I thought I was going to have to thaw their icy minds with some heartwarming rhetoric about the defendant. Unfortunately, once the jurors have decided the defense is guilty, they're unlikely to hear anything the defense said. But then, they've reached their conclusion by their own reasoning, you see. Your pleas will sound like excuses. In fact, it could recoil on you. The more you try to persuade them, the more entrenched they may become. Then what on earth am I supposed to do? Oh dear. I'm just saying what I've read about British law, Mr. Naruhodo. Right, I'm sorry. Do you have any ideas how to make this work then? Well, from what I can understand. Key to this procedure is using the jurors' own words to make your argument. What do you mean? Oops, I hit my thing. Trigger. Well, yeah. They may appear to present a united front, but the truth is, they are completely strangers who just haven't themselves, and that's the way to break them down, you mean? Yes, exactly. We must listen very carefully to what each member of the jury says, and see if we can identify any contradictory statements. If we can then contrast the statements and pit the corresponding jurors against each other. I see, so it contradicts in what 2 or more jurors say that we're looking for. In a way, then, this is similar to a regular cross-examination. Oh, yes, I suppose you're right. Find contradictions in their statements and pit them against the jurors. One, yeah, alright. I gotcha. Ah. Whoa, double slaps. I have to pull this off. Can we start the proceedings, counsel? I would ask you, can I move my mic? Somewhere? Alright. Oh no, my mic. Hold on. Yes, my lord. I wanna lean, but... Hey man, let's just sit back straight. Jury examination. The defense rebuttal. There was no one else inside that carriage at the time, so it must have been him. Oops. I trust the driver. He has excellent memory. Scenes 4 passengers with fares totaling 20 pences. Oh, I see Dimjik here. This, right? Yeah, here. 4 passengers with 20 pences. Pit them.
Objection!
Those 2 statements clearly contradict each other. They do? Explain yourself, counsel. Me? Oh dear, what have I said? I swear on Silver Blaze's main and name, I haven't the first idea what you're talking about. According to the group testimony, oh, we got him moving. We've heard so far. There were 4 passengers on the omnibus on the night in question. And according to the coachman, Mr. Beepo, he took 20 pences in fares. Quite right, I have those precise details typed up neatly here in front of me. And juror number 5 also told us the following. The fare for the omnibus is always 4 pence. That is it. A fair and convenient single price. Just the way London carriages should be operated. That doesn't add up at all. In fact, it leaves a glaring discrepancy in the facts. Why, man? Why? All passengers paying 4 pence each. If you do the multiplication. Ah, it would be 16 pence. Exactly. As I said, it doesn't add up. The figures are different. By 4 pence, in fact. Or precisely 1 person's fare. 1 person's fare. Yes, in other words, on the omnibus that night. It is distinctly possible. There was another passenger we've heard nothing about. Goodness gracious. There's our first one. First pitting. This can't be right. The coachmen of the guild are good honest men, one and all. Trustworthiness is our watchword. Alright. The figures you coachmen claims most certainly do not add up. Your watchword, good sir, is a fallacy. I beg your pardon? Alright, wait, let me order this. Alright, I ought to consider that if this trial were to end now... Press the wrong button. News will surely spread all yes. Yeah, how do I make it so this miserable trial doesn't end, huh? Well then, according to my book here, you simply launch a ball of fire onto the innocent side of the set of the scales. Now hold your horses there, coachman. We were all in agreement. Why do you have to go and... Wait till I get my hands on you. Beepo! Or Beppo! Beppo. Beppo. It is Beppo, right? Ah, this is all very irritating. Begging your pardon, sir. I'm going to do the same. Yeah, here we go. Change the scales. For the love of Mike, not you as well. A penny can be different. Be the difference between a smile and a tear, after all. I certainly can't put my trust in someone who doesn't follow my exact standards in financial matters. Oh, really? I, for one, think it's only proper that we hear from the witness again. Oh, well done, Mr. Nahoda. You did it. If you can manage to change 2 more jurors' mind, you can force the trial to continue. 2 more. Actually, there is something else that's been bothering me about a couple of their assertions. You must know where they strike next. So I put 2 more jurors. Yeah, with a constant... Yeah, exactly. You can do it. Well then, the scales of justice have shifted. They still weigh heavy on the side of guilt. Counsel, you have the floor again. Continue with your summation examination. Alright. He stuck them next to him like this. Brazen, I must say. I think it's it. It's, yeah, I think it's these two.
Objection!
Those two statements are completely contradictory. What? Explain, Counsel, and post haste. Oh, dearie me, I was only knitting a jumper for my other half. What's all this, claptrap? What does contradictory even mean, I ask you? Ah, the working class, eh? We've heard from more than one witness that they allegedly saw the actual moment where the defendant stabbed the victim. Now, out of curiosity, juror number 3. What? Can you see I'm busy here? How would you say the defendant stabbed the victim? What sort of motion was it? Ah, want to test me, do you? Like that, it was like this. Stuck the fellow next to him without even getting up. Just like the prim banker said. Yes, that was Mr. Fairplay's testimony. Quite true. Now then, juror number 6. Oh, is that me, is it? What can I do for you, young man? How would you say the defendant stabbed the victim, madame? Oh, well, dear, as far as I understand it, it was like this. He stabbed the poor man after he collapsed on the floor. The coachman said so. Now don't move. Take a look at these two jurors. He stuck the fellow next to him without even getting up. And he stabbed the poor man after he collapsed on the floor. Well, I never. They're stabbing in totally different directions. What? Bless my stitches. What a muddle. Well, this tells us is that there's a strong possibility one of the witnesses isn't telling the truth. Oh. But why? Why the dickens would they lie? I don't know that yet. But what I do know, that if the trial ends at this point, we never find out. Yeah, we maybe never know the truth. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, can you really let that happen in all good conscience? Lies, you say? Oh, dearie me. There we go. We've turned the scales. We can't abide people telling lies. There we go. Going to our favor now. It's 3-3. We've evened the scales. The scales. I don't believe in. Holden. Wait. Now hear this, my fellow jurors. I warned you, you cannot listen to this man. Look at him in his black suit. He's clearly some devious Eastern sorcerer using magic on us. If I could use magic, do you really think I'll be putting myself through all this? Answer me this, Dark Jinx. Huh? Me? What exactly is the problem? What of it if two witnesses have slightly different recollections of events? What of it? Let's say the Shylock did stab the victim as he was sat next to him on the omnibus. And this young dandy saw him do it. And now let's say the victim collapsed on the floor and then the Shylock stabbed him again. And this old lady saw him do it. Well, what's to say it didn't happen like that, huh? Who are you calling dandy, sir? Let's check the court records. Maybe there's just one stab wound here. Stabbed once in the abdomen. Yeah, there we go. Got some evidence for that. Who are you calling old? Why, I should be taking this needle to you. Ugh. They're ready to kill each other now. Could the foreman of the jury be right? Did the two witnesses see two different moments of the same crime? That was the question. Unfortunately, Mr. Foreman. What is it, you Dark Jinx? Come on, out with it. What you're suggesting is impossible. It's out of the question. What are you talking about, man? How can you possibly say that? You do realize that I'm only doing my job. As foreman of the jury, I have a responsibility to steer everyone in the right direction. So, where's your evidence, man? That's what we want to see. I say the two witnesses saw two different moments of the same crime. If you say that's out of the question, show me proof. I got proof. It looks like the only way I'm going to convince him is present him with something he can't dismiss. Some irrefutable hard evidence, as you wish. What? I'll give you the proof. It's out of the question that the two witnesses saw two different moments, as proven by... yeah, the autopsy report. This is the victim's autopsy report. According to what's written here, Mr. Mason was stabbed in the abdomen. Only once. Eh? Only once. It's quite simple. The victim was stabbed precisely one time. Which means these witnesses can't possibly have seen it happen 2 different times. Alright. I can see defeat. Juror number 3 seems to agree. He did it. Wait. That means 4 jurors are now leaning to not guilty. You've done it, Mr. Naohodo. We've won. We did it. Let's go. What are you playing at, you dandy fool? Shit, you're trapped, sir. No one deceives me. We had a consensus. I said shut your trap. I know a liar when I see one. And if the chap ever dares to cross the threshold of my shop, I'll take this razor-sharp blade and shove every last hair off his head. Shave. Shave? Shave. Please tell me he's a barber. Yeah, man. Well, in a quite remarkable turn of events, the defense summonation examination has flipped the balance of the scales of justice. The jurors now stand at 2 for guilty and 4 for not guilty. Accordingly, there is no longer a large enough majority among the jury for me to adjudicate. And the trial must continue. Yeah, suck on that. Barak. Is that his name? Barak. Van Ziegs. I hereby ask the defense, prosecution, and witness to return to their places. And I call upon all of you to continue to pursue the truth. Good stuff. Good stuff. Let's go. Alright, Van Ziegs. Please continue to the case for the prosecution, if you please. Substanate? Substanate. I don't know how you say it. Right, he's got, what is it called? The hollowed chalice. He crushes it. Having savored the rich aroma of the carmine contents of this hallowed chalice, it may seem crass to crush it to dust. Pray forgive the discourtesy. Lord Van Zykes. Ugh. Is the calling here or is it just me? This is your acquainted tome. An antiquated, well, never mind. The prosecution may not speak during a summonation event, examination. So I honored the deathly silence and listened to the charade. It seems I overestimate the intelligence of the jury. Well, no manner. There's nothing so hard to prove as a safe, evident truth, it would seem. No, and why else will we grace the courtroom with our presence after all? So, let's proceed to the next round of battle. Oh, the cape is off. Bring forth the witness once more. You fools. Witnesses, I trust you heard the summonation examination we have just had to endure. What the hell am I on? Epo. Oh, yes, sir. I did, sir. Of course I heard it. Oh, yes, sir. I heard it. You, sir, on the end. The coachman? I believe it's Epo? Yes, sir. My lord, sir. If it transpires that in your previous testimony, you were attempting to veil the presence of a 5th passenger on your omnibus, you will be found guilty of perjury, I mean. You are advised to bear that in mind, sir. Oh, mio Dio. Is he Spanish? Is that Spanish? And then, witness, I hereby call on you to testify before the court. Yes. You explain the various misgivings brought by attention by the defense summonation examination. Alright, here he comes. Various misgivings. I only carried 4 passengers that night, I swear, but well, I for one was told I had to pay 5 pence for the bus. Huh? He filled us on the fare, he did, and then I saw that blood-curdling sight as well. It's all too much. I tell you, I saw McGilda stabbing that man. Everything I said before stands. Oh, yes, yes, he stabbed him. Yeah, yes, he did. I think so, yes. What? Paid 5 pence? Why? Council, make sense of this for me, please. Phantom fifth passenger conjured into existence by my learned Eastern friend never existed. Confusion has arisen from the coachman's sly little cozenage. Apo, explain yourself. I'm terribly sorry, Guildmaster. The Guildmaster fares 4 pence across the board. You know that. Am I to understand that you've been overcharging our passengers by a penny's fare? It's so cold, and the last run of the day is always half empty. You have been dishonest, coachman. I'm sorry. You're a disgrace, Beppo, a disgrace. And your selfish actions have been brought dishonor onto the entire guild. Oh, me, sir. I have to pay 10 pence on the bus just last week. What? All passengers are 5 pence each is, yes, 20 pence. I've done the arithmetic 10 times already, but I just can't make the result come out differently. No, that's figures. Yeah, that's correct. Well, it would appear that one of the aforementioned misgivings have already been explained. Oh, counsel for the defense, your cross-examination? Alright, we already had the pleasure of protracted examination and examination today. I see you intend to continue the parlor games? Absolutely. Why is he charging 5 pence? This little shit. I swear it. But, alright, let's see what happens here. Press. So, there were only 4 passengers on your carriage, but you didn't charge them the standard 4 pence fare. Is that right? It's impossible to make the last run a day pay. It was so cold that I could do, to stop myself passing out. I'm getting chilled, was that? I don't know what I say. Yeah, so I want to give myself a pat on the back for even keeping the bus running. Yeah, this guy's feeling real cold. Doesn't a dedicated coachman deserve an extra penny passenger? Digging a deep hole for yourself here. If only there had been a 5th passenger on the omnibus that night, then you would have another suspect. Well, I, for one, have to pay 5 pence for the bus. Does it mean everyone on board that night paid 5 pence instead of 4? I paid 5 pence too, sir. I just told you that I did. I fare 5 pence across the board. That's something to be proud of. The so-called discrepancy, my learned friend identified was nothing of the sort. Much like the phantom killer you so desperately needed, it's gone, dead and buried. I've been happy to if it had existed in the first place. Alright. He filled us on the fare, he did, and then I saw the blood-curdling sight as well. Alright, this blood-curdling slide. You mean the murder I presume? Yes, sir. Loathsome sight. No one should have to witness the horror in the eyes of a man the moment his life is taken. Oh, well, not exactly, sir. I mean, I didn't actually see the exact moment the general was stabbed. Goodness gracious, really? We have another witness who did, however. The banker has already testified to it. Huh? The Mr. First didn't actually see the point at which the victim was killed. That may turn to be very significant. I heard the banker gen next to me take a sharp intake of breath. That's when I looked through the glass. That's when I saw the horrible blade poking out from his belly, all covered in blood. Every time I see the knife now, I couldn't help screaming, even when I'm eating. Or maybe it was this one. I tell you, I saw McGilder stab that man. Everything I said before stands. So you saw the defendant, Mr. McGilder, stabbing the victim, Mr. Mason, who was sitting next to him? That's what I said, isn't it? It was bothering me before this was. For just a brief moment, he hesitated before answering the question. Anyway, there was only the 2 of them inside the carriage, weren't they? Zero evidence yet. So what we're wasting all our time for, eh? It's black and white. The man's guilty. Something about Mr. Fairplay's testimony just jars with me. I wish I could work out what it was. Yeah, he stabbed him. Yes, he did. I think so, yes. Maybe this last one. Oh, you testified you saw the moment when the defendant allegedly stabbed the victim, did you? Oh, yes, that's right. You said that the victim was on the floor and described the assailant holding a knife in an ice pick grip. I suppose. I might have, you know, yes. Put the cart before the horse, maybe? What's this? He's lying. Well, I'm quite sure about most of it. I was driving the horses when I heard the scream from the seats of the room deck. Oh, I expect that was me, sir. Then, when I turned around, yes, I saw it through the skylight. The gentleman was on the floor, and the knife was sticking up out of his midriff. That's right, yes. And the fellow holding the handle was the famous man. Yes. So, in short, you didn't see the moment when the victim was actually stabbed at all. Hey, I really thought I did, but when I go over it again in my head, no. I suppose I didn't actually see the precise moment of the stabbing, did I? Oh, here it is. Pursue. Yeah, whatever. Excuse me. Pursue, I mean. Peruse. Do you have something to say, Mr. Fairplay? Now, you listen me. I know what you're thinking. You didn't really see the exact moment the fella was stabbed. What are the chances of that? Hey? Are you asking me or telling me here? I'm getting flustered. I might be able to extract some new information from him if I answer him cleverly. Did he have just happened to see the exact moment the crime was committed? No chance. Well, it is a little hard to believe, certainly. Unless you spend your time peeping through a skylight on top of the omnibus, that is. EP, I'm a respectable city banker, have you know. I know what I saw. I remember it as clear as day as a Ballarat day. Clear as Ballarat day, I mean? It was a grim sight, I don't mind telling you. Thank you, Mr. Fairplay. Excuse me if I was getting a little hot under the collar there. I would ask you to supplement your testimony with a clear statement about what exactly you saw. Oh, I can do that, alright. I'll tell you just how grim it was. You think I'll forget the sight of those blood-soaked hands? After that blood-soaked hands? I think that's, who's wearing gloves, my friend?
Objection!
Blood-soaked hands? Well, I admit that soak might be laying it a little thick, but anyway, there was definitely blood all over them. Both of them were covered in it. Well, I'm very sorry to disagree, Mr. Fairplay, but that's more than a little peculiar. What? Here are the gloves worn by the defendant, Mr. McGill, on the night in the question. Oh, yes? Right. There certainly does appear to be sizable dark color stains here, but, as I'm sure you can clearly see, it's only on the right-hand glove. Ah! In short, Mr. Fairplay, your testimony is inconsistent. Yeah. But no. Can't be right. Whoops, I hit the wrong button again. Autoplay. Yeah, if your last statement is a lie, it calls your entire testimony in question. You said the moment you saw the victim was stabbed. But is that really the truth? It was a simple mistake. You can't justify accusing this man of lying. Yes, it wasn't both hands. It was only one. The fact remains. The victim's blood was on the accused. Alright, well, what does now Hodder have to say? No. Mr. Fairplay categorically stated that he saw blood all over both hands, which means there's a strong possibility that this witness was deliberately trying to mislead the court. Or mislead the court. Why? Why? I'm a city banker, for Pete's sake. My word should be the gold standard, for pity's sake. I'm a gentleman, not some gutter snipe. Upstanding member of society, well, how you say that? Prevaricate? He's claimed to have no reason to lie. Is it really that case? Mr. Nahodo, if we have some evidence to explain why Mr. Fairplay might be lying, we can turn the tide. Alright, what kind of... something to show this man to lie. I don't think there is evidence. Is there? Maybe it's the murder weapon. Let's check if examine here. Alright, this part of the sheath, isn't it? Are you alright, Mr. Nahodo? Oh, sorry, yes. I just don't really like blades. Oh. This doesn't seem like the words of a man with a large katana slung from his waist. That's not a blade, that's Kazuma's soul. Anyways, there's no sense in delaying it. Let's see what the blade looks like. Alright. With the M attached. Blood soaked. Yeah, that looks like a lot of blood. Yeah, the victims. An Englishman's blood looks like a looks a lot like Japanese blood. Yeah, what do you think? Finding it a little hard to adjust. Yeah, I do understand. Do we have evidence? An ordinary letter M, undeniably Mr. McGinnis' initials. Yeah. What is it? Look at this M. If you turn it upside down, it becomes a W. This could change everything. Yeah, this is one of those, you know, turnabout cases. I'm afraid I don't know all about it at all. It could be a W. Oh. That idea. I don't even know. We go in? It's horrible. It's the skyline. Can be opened inside the cabin at least. Your controls are weird. This is where he died. I don't know. Well, let's see what happens. Let's see the. All right. There's a large room and there doesn't appear to be a handle or catch of any description. All right. It's a fair play, which means there's a strong possibility that this witness was deliberately trying to mislead the court. Maybe it is. Wait, oh. Let's go to the court record. It must be something with the omnibus, I believe. The roof or deck of the omnibus. Alright. Real pricey you pay to stay out late. Wait, get to the... Oh, why the controls are so scuffed? Alright, you can clearly see inside the carriage through its opening, that's for sure. And there's a lamp in the enclosed cabin. We've been able to see it quite clearly. That's not good for us. Is it the same thing? Is it the same thing again? I don't know. Do I have evidence? I don't think so. I don't even know what am I doing. Let's take an open here. This portfolio must contain all sorts of secrets. Do you really think we ought to look inside? Well, it's not as though we have any Londons generally personally. If we see his name here, maybe this is it. Actually, I wonder. Let's hope Mr. Sholmes' name's not inside. Let's see what we find. Alright, let's read. Gosh, this crime full of gentlemen's names, isn't it? Well, I suppose they're probably not all gentlemen at all, are they? After all, not everyone in this country is well off. Goodness, what is it? Look at this. Do you see the name here? Bruce Fairplay. Did that mean something to me? It does sound strangely familiar, actually. Bruce Fairplay, the witness testifying at this very court. Yeah, yes, the banker. Why is his name in here? Ah, he borrowed 20 guineas, didn't he? And look, the repayment date is fast approaching. possible that this is just a coincidence. Oh, of course. Could be very useful information. There we go. There we go. I've got it. It's the ledger. Bruce Fairplay being a bit of a cheeky shit. Alright, I got you now, bitch. I have evidence. Why is he lying? My lord? Yes, counsel? I do have evidence. The defense is ready to present evidence. By Jove, are you sure? Yes, evidence that will clearly demonstrate why Mr. Fairplay has reason to lie in his testimony. Ah. Very well. I hereby call on the defense to present this evidence. The evidence that demonstrates a motive.
Take that!
Take that. This is a list of debtors who owe money to Mr. McGilded. Yes. A list of innocent victims crippled by the accused extortion. The point is, among the names of these debtors is your name, Mr. Bruce Fairplay. What? Mr. Fairplay, are you currently in debt financially to the accused? No, well, it's barely worthy of being called a debt. According to the ledger, you own 20 Guinness, not an inconsiderable sum of money, wouldn't you say? Well, what of it? Let's suppose Mr. McGillard were to be found guilty of the murder. What would become of your debt in that case? These documents state that the loan agreement is forged between two individual parties. Therefore, we were the creditor, the defendant here, to be sentenced to the capital punishment. All the standing debts which were owed to him would be annulled. They would cease to exist. Cease to exist. Mr. Fairplay, is it not the case that you claimed in your testimony to have seen something you've never saw fact? In fact saw? I don't know why I said that. In a devious attempt to annul your debt of 20 Guinness to the defendant. Yeah. Yeah. Got him. What a liar. Order. Mr. Bruce Fairplay. Yes, my lord. Let me ask you again, and be aware that your answer may have most serious implications upon your future, sir. Did you or did you not see the precise moment in time at which the defendant is alleged to have thrust a knife into the victim? The silence speaks volumes. You did not tell the truth in your testimony. Alright, now let's not make a melodrama out of this. Perhaps I did overstate the truth for a pinch. A pinch? But it makes no difference. I definitely remember seeing blood on Mr. Giller's hands, both of them.
Objection.
And yet only one of the defendant's gloves, which we have here as evidence, is stained. Ugh, so you keep saying. I wonder if I might be allowed to speak, sir. Go ahead, Mr. First. Well, the thing is, I think I remember seeing it myself, as it happens. Seeing what? Blood, sir, on the assailant's hands. I think, yes. I'm almost sure that it was on both his hands, not just one. What? What? Huh. It would appear that we're going to need further testimony from all you witnesses. This time, I would like to know precisely what you did and what you did not see. Do I make myself perfectly clear? Yes. Now, hold on. This is good news. The course of the trial seems to have shifted slightly at last. Yes. Might finally have a chance to turn things around here. There was blood on both hands of the assailant. I sincerely and distinctly remember that. Although I suppose you might say that I didn't see the exact moment the stabbing transpired, if that matters. I remember seeing the knife, and I remember seeing both the attacker's hands with blood on them. I didn't actually see anything myself, no. Not until I heard that scream. Anyway, the fact remains, there can't be anyone else inside that carriage. Or we all would have seen. Alright, what a peculiar situation we're in here. Well, lo and behold. In truth of fact, not one of you was witness to the crucial moment the crime was. Yeah, I apologize, my lord, but honestly, there's no one else inside the carriage, and the man's hand were covered in blood. Oh, that's much incriminating evidence. is tantamount to saying we saw the man do it. That's really not what testimony is about. Let's examine the interior of the omnibus once more. Here we go. Yeah, the victim's fresh blood is clearly visible on the seat, corroborating the witness's account. In other words, there is no substantial nor significant change in the facts of this case. Oh well, your cross-examination please, counsel. Yes, my lord. What the witness really saw. There was no blood. Yeah, okay. Move over. It's not this. Let's press on first statement here. And then I remember seeing both hands at the time with blood on them. You definitely saw that too. Blood on both hands? Yes, sir. I mean, I know what you're going to say. Only one of McGilda's gloves has any signs of blood on it. Yeah. The thing is, as far as I remember, sir, when I looked down and saw Mr. Gillis sitting beside the other fella, I didn't believe he was wearing any gloves, sir. He wasn't wearing these gloves? That's correct, sir. And I saw the blood on both his bare hands quite clearly. True that the dark colors... Alright, we could examine. I should point out that the police officer who apprehended the accused on the night in question reported that there was no traces of blood on Mr. McGillis' gloved hands. There wasn't blood on his hands. Yeah, how does that work? This is puzzling indeed. This must be significant somehow, show me a bit. I didn't actually see anything, yeah. Alright, let's see here. Press. And everything you saw of the incident was through the skylight on the roof of the omnibus. That's right, it was fiercely cold that night. The glass wasn't frosted over. Oh yes, I remember I was shivering, it was so bitter. Why the pair of you were sitting on the roof deck in the first place? Well, I don't know about this young fellow, but I couldn't enter the cabin. Oh, why not? It was locked from the inside. I tried knocking, but no one opened the door. It was locked. That's right, it was a public bus service for pity's sake. That's not what I call fair play. Yes, I had exactly the same experience. I tried knocking, but the gents inside gestured at me to clear off. So I had no choice but to climb up the roof deck and look down longingly into the warm cabin below. Well, I can assure you I wasn't just looking down, I was glaring. Long and hard. And that's precisely why I can't tell you with absolute confidence. If there was anyone else at all in that cabin, I would have noticed. When unequivocal... What? I'm not sure about these two witnesses. Could they really have seen everything inside the cabin through the skyline? They would have seen everything? They may not, yeah. Allow me to confirm one thing, Mr. Fairplay. You were riding this omnibus and witnessed the events in the cabin through the skyline, yeah. Alright? That's right, yes. In that case, there is a portion of the cabin interior that would have been out of sight from you. My golly, really? Oh, please don't take me. I haven't checked that pad yet. The possibility cannot be denied that at the time of the incident, there could have been another sort of passenger in the enclosed cabin of the omnibus. Alright. Enough with the hypotheticals, meandering, my Nipponese friend. The prosecution demands that you substantiate your claims. Oh, I said it correctly there. Substantiate. After all, the scene of the crime is here in the flesh. Very well, I will uphold the prosecution demand. Oh, don't tell me yet. Oh, God. Oh, God. Which way? Here, right? Have we found... Wait, have we found... Wait, get in there. Yeah, they couldn't see down here, right? If I can control this correctly, yeah. What's this? This seat has a handle, it seems. Yeah, here we go. Can't find anything out of place. Hold on, check in here. Yeah, this looks like all sorts of equipment that might be needed to keep the omnibus running. For heating tubes, tools to repair, yeah. To a storage compartment for the coachman to keep his things, it seems. Yeah, I think this is it. I think this is the path. I don't imagine it would be very convenient for our purpose anyway. Is there no hand on the other side? Yeah, it doesn't seem like it. Alright, back to the thing. It is down here.
Take that!
Both rows of seats on the roof face in the direction of the travel, whereas the seats in the enclosed cabin face each other, which means the visible part of the cabin which passengers on the roof deck can see through the skyline. Yeah, this is as I've drawn here. That's right, my lord. As you can see. Alright, yeah. Don't worry, I'm getting ahead of myself with the storage place, but yeah, it still makes sense. The right side, you can't see. Alright, maybe it'll be after this, actually. Alright, here we go. It's quite possible some phantom was sitting there. The Nipponese have a foreboding habit of obscuring the truth with ambiguity. Like her with the prosecution rejoinder in the British court of law, evidence is paramount. Cannot entertain this conjecture, counsel. That is, unless you're able to put a name to this mysterious passenger to whom you allude. Can you, Mr. Naruhodo? I can, I don't believe. There's no idea, I don't think. But as a proud citizen of the Japanese Empire, you will look to the sky and walk on. Make sure all signs of tears are gone. Go on. This isn't just a case of going on, Mrs. Otto. Is there? Who is it? Alright then, I'll go on. The defense would like to put forward a name. Alright, never mind. You are a fool. That response was a desperate attempt by a man. I don't know who it is. Who is it? Toast to hard lessons not yet learned. He's got a new chalice. This could be it. On the night of the murder, the person occupying the scene must be him, right? Should I save it? I don't know. What the what? What is... Who could it be? It must be, yeah, McGillett. Alright, yeah, I was right. The passenger in the enclosed cabin that the witness on the roof failed to see has to be Mr. Magnus McGilded. McGilded? Mr. McGilded? What are you talking about, counsel? The name of the defendant?
Objection!
Oh, damn, you threw it. If I desecrate this chamber by smashing my hollow chalice, do forgive the discourtesy. Lord Van Dykes. People talk, alright. Hold on, I'm like getting tired here. It's getting hot. Multiple witnesses have attested to the fact. It's very premise. Yeah. But that premise may be wrong. If the victim really was sitting beside Mr. McGilded, it creates an inconsistency that can't be reconciled in any way. What inconsistency, counsel? The defendant's glove, my lord. Both witnesses made the same testimony. They claimed that there was blood on both hands of the person sitting next to the victim. Yeah, we know the truth to be otherwise. Only one glove bears the gory remain. Yep. Point is, even in the face of this irrefutable evidence, both witnesses have maintained their stance. Yes, their testimony remains unchanged. Exactly. They both adamantly swear that they clearly remember seeing blood on both hands of the assailant. In short, their memory of the events is correct, and their testimony reveals the truth. There was somebody else seen besides the victim that night, a third party we have yet to identify. And the victim's blood was on the passenger's hand, both of them.
Objection!
And who was this third party? Obviously, the true culprit. Extraordinary. Are you allowed to say that? Like, just say, oh, it's the culprit.
Objection!
Order. The defense postulation is just that, nothing more than conjecture. The witnesses have clearly stated that they saw the accused. When elaborating on his testimony, Mr. Fairplay said the two of them were wearing hats, and I couldn't exactly make out their faces. Yes. The tops of the hat were obscured by the roof. I could see the rest of them, though. Yes, that's right. Both gents were most certainly hatted. Hatters do tend to notice such things. And what particular styles of hat did the two gentlemen spot, Mr. First? I'm afraid I don't remember. You call yourself a hatter? Yeah, that's true. The style of hat makes no difference. There was no third passenger in the cabin. How can you be so sure? Because if there had been, the accused McGilded would undoubtedly have offered to dispose the fact. Unless that is, you are proposing an even more preposterous explanation. That the accused failed to even notice the presence of the true culprit in the very cabin in which he traveled. Ah. He's right. If there was another person traveling the enclosed cabin of the omnibus, it's inconceivable that Mr. McGilded would have been unaware of it. Order. There's clearly a simple solution to this problem. Bring the accused, Mr. McGilded, to the stand. Well, what do you say, counsel? Prosecution objects, my lord. On what grounds? As a suspect, he will already have made a full statement to the police. But what if there is some reason he was unable to speak freely? Magnus McGilded is no uneducated ruffian. I don't know why I got it so, maybe from is. If it needed, turns out the man has been withholding information, you can be sure it would become a most deliberate act. Alright, counsel for the defense, what is your opinion? My lord? Do we ask Mr. McGilded to testify or not? Yeah, might as well. Yes, we need to hear what he has to say in order to find out the truth. We may have to stop here, though. The defense would like to call Mr. McGilded to the stand. In that case, I would like to hear the opinion of the jury. Ah, yes, I need a little time to consider this. If you ask me, I think we should hear what Mr. McGilded has to say. Get the man out of here, I say. It would be utterly illogical not to hear his testimony. When something needs doing, get it done. That's how I run things at the guild. Hearing what the patron of my favorite little park has to say. Oh yes, that would be lovely. Yes, the jury says the man must be heard. Very well, the court will hear the defendant's testimony. I'll have shown the defendant to the stand once. Maybe we'll get one done here. Do we call it? Do we call it a day here? Now. Maybe what actually happened that night will finally become clear. Ooh, to be continued? No. Let's proceed. Let the proceedings be resumed. But I think we're going to stop it here. We're going to end it here. Alright, next up, we're going to talk to, what's his name? McGilded. See what he's got to say. Alright, we're going to call it. We're going to call it right here. So, yeah. Hope you enjoyed this session of the Great Ace Attorney. Good progress done. Learning the British card system. And yeah, what this mystery. This mysterious culprit. Who is it? You know, how did he kill Bricksman? How did McGilded not notice? Who knows? Well, we'll find out next time. But that's it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed the session, and I'll see you guys next time. I'll catch you guys later.